Hey guys, it's me, 80 Sorts guys. Two guys will be doing my Europa League predictions, guys. Guys, the Europa League is looking crazy, guys. Some of these groups right here are pretty difficult to predict. And I'll be completely honest with you, man. Some of these groups, I'm not confident with. Like a lot of the predictions let me make in this video, guys, I'm not confident whatsoever. So let me go and explain the Europa League, how the logistics are and all that. Okay? Normally, the Europa League would be with 48 teams. It normally is with 48 teams. However, with the introduction of the UEFA Conference League, UEFA decided, you know what, let's just scrap the number of teams as the Europa League to 32 to keep things like, make it simple and just do the Europa Conference League. And so now that basically every team that tops their respective groups directly qualifies to the knockout stage. Obviously, each team plays round robin style, 6 games, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. Now, the second place team is a bit of an interesting twist. Basically, the second place team isn't necessarily guaranteed a spot in the round of 16. They have to earn their spot by battling a team that finishes third in their Champions League group. And the team that prevails against the third place Champions League team gets that spot. So they're going to be playing home and away. Okay? So with that being said, let's go and get started. So let's start with Group A, guys. Yeah, guys, this is going to be really interesting. Going to be really, really interesting indeed. So, for me, guys, I think it's going to be really close. It's going to be really close for which team is going to get top 2. Okay? So, we're going to be predicting the top 2 teams. Okay? Actually, no, I have to predict the whole thing because the third place in this group, guys, gets a chance at the UEFA Conference League as well. So, I forgot to mention that. So, let's start with Group A, guys. So coming in bottom of the group, I have it is Sparta Prague. For me, guys, actually it's going to be Brøndby. For me, guys, I just don't really think they have great players. I know they're doing really well in the Danish league. Obviously, you got some good players. You have Mads Hermansson. You have Andres Maxaxo, Mikael Uri, Christian Capis, Belis Riveros. I just don't think they have enough quality to compete. And you could see that their team, where is it? Sparta Prague, not Sparta Prague. Brøndby, their standings in their own domestic league, they finished last season. Where is it? They actually won the championship. Okay. The regular season, though, and they also won it as well. So they have some quality, and I wouldn't underestimate them. And I do think this is a team that can cause problems. At the same time, though, I don't think they'll do anything. I could be very wrong, though. And by the way, guys, I'm not going to go super in-depth with each team. We're not going to go spend hours and hours here. So I'm going to do a little quick dive here, just look at the players, but not really go too much more in deep with it, okay? Third in the group, I have a Sparta Prague. For me, they got some really good players. Obviously, you have Hadam Huzuk, Philip Panek, Kasper Hoig, Salisko, and yeah, I think it's a good team, guys. It's a good, decent team they have. And I do think that this team could cause problems. You could look at their standings in the Czech league. Last season, they finished, they actually came second, which is really, really impressive indeed. And while Slavia actually went undefeated, that's really interesting. So yeah, man, Sparta Prague, I think they'll come third. Now it's time for my top 2, guys, and this is where things get very, very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed, guys. And it's really interesting because for me, guys, I'm going to make a surprise twist here, guys. Normally, I wouldn't make this prediction. However, guys, I just haven't really been impressed with this team. And the second place I have in the group is going to be Lyon. Lyon, for me, guys, I think they're finishing second. I know they have made some good investments in the team this summer. Obviously, I understand they brought in Xherdan Shaqiri, Jerome Boateng, Lucas Paqueta, Moussa Dembele, Houssam Aouar, Emerson Palmieri, Marcelo, Ryan Cherki. It's a really good, talented team. I really think it's the team that should top this group. It's just that Lyon have been so underwhelming these last few seasons. They've been super, super underwhelming. And you know who I think they're going to really miss this season? Memphis Depay. He, for me, is going to be a crucial player for them that they miss out. And I don't believe they'll be able to do well with him departing for Barcelona. So hence the reason why I believe they'll come in second. Although they could easily come in first. And then Rangers, I actually have top in the group. I feel like Rangers, Steven Gerrard has done a fantastic job with this team. This is a really good team they have. And I feel like for me, this is a team that you cannot write off upon. This is a team that went on a deep run last season in Europa League. I think they lost to, I want to say Slavia Prague in the round of 16. So this is the type of team that you can't really count off up. And remember, guys, we're in a very difficult group last season with Benfica. And so I do think that I do give their a chances very highly. And I do think they have some really good players. Obviously, Alfredo Morales, Fashion Sakala, Ryan Kent, Kamara, Jermaine Defoe. And I believe Steven Gerrard is a better manager than, I forgot the Liga manager's name. So, yeah, man, I just feel like for me, as Rangers, man, I think they'll be my dark horse. I think they could definitely top this group, and I think they'll make it through to the round of 16. So, I'm fairly confident with the top two in that Lyon Rangers are qualifying. I mean, Lyon and Rangers making it through to the round of 16 is just that I don't know which team will top. Right now, I'm going to say Rangers will top. Remember, guys, Lyon, they're not necessarily guaranteed a spot. So you can see right there on Google, it says playoffs there. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Group B, guys, it's a very, very interesting group. Fourth place I have in the group is going to be Sturm Graz. For me, as I said, they're just going to be a tough team to they're not going to really do much in this group, in my personal opinion. I do think they could be a team that could be that sleeper pick and that might get some points and prevent a big team from qualifying, as we saw with Istanbul Başakşehir last season. But I don't really believe they'll do too much in this group. So you have Stefan Hanne, David Afirmigi. So you can see there they played for Leipzig and Salzburg respectively. And as I said before, guys, I think this is a decent team they have. But as I said, I don't think they'll do anything special. I think they're coming bottom of the group. Third, though, is going to be interesting. Third is a really interesting. And this, in my opinion, is possibly one of the toughest groups to predict. A really interesting. Third I have in this group is going to be PSV Eindhoven. PSV Eindhoven, man, they did really, really well. They almost won against Benfica on aggregate. They actually had a man advantage and still were not able to make it through. Obviously, the players to look out for are Mario Götze. I would keep an eye upon Aaron Zahivi. I would keep an eye on Bruno, Cody Gakpo, Carlos Vinicius as well. I really do think this is a team you cannot really write up upon. Fode Fofana as well. I'm really curious to see how Aaron Zahivi is going to do with this team. So, yeah, man. As I said before, guys, I think they're coming third. I think they'll come third. All right. So we'll see how they do. Second in the group I have is going to be Monaco. Monaco, for me, under Niko Kovac. I still can't believe they didn't make it to the Champions League because, honestly, man, they should have done it. They had so many opportunities. And I feel like this is a team that's very threatening, a very dangerous team. You cannot write up about. You have Alexander Golovin, Cesc Fabregas, Myra Boadu, Yusuf Ben Yedder, Kevin Volland, who missed so many opportunities that second leg, Alexander Nubel, Fofana, Yusuf Fofana, Sofini Diop, Jean Lucas, Kyle Henrique. As I said before, guys, I think this is a team that you cannot really write up upon, and I think this is a team that could maybe top the group. It's just that I just don't trust them, man. I just don't trust them when it comes to in front of goal. They seem to always find a way to screw up. And Niko Kovac, we know exactly he isn't exactly that amazing as a manager as well. So, yeah, I don't think Monaco will do that well. But I do think they'll come second, and I do think they'll make the playoffs. The first in the group I have it is going to be Real Sociedad. This team, Real Sociedad, man, is an amazing team. You have Alexander Isak, David Silva, Mikael Oyarzabal, Matthew Ryan, who came from Brighton, Adnan Januzaj, Alexander Sorla, Diego Rico, Alex Romero, Alexander Brandstka, Porto, Mikel Barredo. This is a really good team, guys. A really, really good team, guys. Real Sociedad, man, as a team you cannot write off upon. And I think this is a team that could potentially be one of the dark horse contenders to win the Europa League as well. So they're my pick, man. They're my pick indeed to top this group. All right. Moving on to Group C, guys. We have a very interesting group here. Fourth I have is Legia Warsaw. I believe my friend is from that area. So good luck to them. For me, guys, despite the fact that they got here, I just don't really believe they'll do anything special here. You have Mahir Ameli, there's Arthur Borek. It's a Polish team indeed. So, yeah, as I said, I don't think they'll do anything special. I don't think they'll do anything special. They could prove us wrong, though. Third I have is Spartak Moscow. As I said, a Russian team as well. Quincy Promes, Alexander Sobolev. Quincy Promes is the player to look out for, to be honest with you. Victor Moses as well. So, yeah, as I said, they're going to get third. Second is where things get interesting. We have a really interesting spot between second and first, between Leicester City and Napoli. Which team is going to get that second spot? Second I have in this group is going to be Leicester City. Leicester City, for me, I think they have a really good team on paper. I really like this team. The problem with Leicester City, the problem I have with Leicester City, and the reason why I don't think they'll top this group is because I don't think they have enough squad depth. I just don't think they have enough squad depth. You can see how limited they are. And we saw how when they have injuries to their starting 11, they could really struggle. You know, Jamie Vardy, who knows how many goals he can score. Madison as well, Patson Daka, Schmeichel, Soyuncu's not been in good form. Fofana, Tielemans, Iheanacho, Vestergaard, Bertrand, Soumare, Harvey Barnes, Ndidi, Amartre, Ricardo Pereira. You know, I could go on and on. There's a whole hordes of talented players for this team, and I think it's a really good team, guys. As I said before, guys. The problem with this team, as I said, is I just don't know if they can keep all their players fit. That's my worry for them. So, as of now, I do think they'll make the playoffs. I do think they have enough quality, and I would expect them to get to the round of 16. However, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So, let's see who they face in the playoffs against that third-place team. So, we'll wait and find out. But as I said, could be very interesting for them. So, yeah, I think they'll get second. And the first in the group I have is Napoli. Napoli. This is a team that I just don't really know what to expect. This is a team that has so much potential. This is a team that is doing so well in Serie A. They just won against Juventus a few days ago. And I still cannot trust them to top this group. And even though I am predicting them to top this group, I wouldn't be surprised to see them not top this group. Because honestly, man, this is the type of team where they really should top this group. They have Insigne, Lozano, Osimhen, Dries Mertens, Koulibaly, Osimhen, Ospina, Zielinski, Politano, Merit, Mario Rui, Manolos as well. You know, it's a really good team, guys. It's a really good team, guys. And I think they have enough quality, and I do think they can frustrate the big teams. We know the type of team they are. They can definitely be very, very frustrating to play against. It's just that I just don't know I can trust them so much, right? So that's why I'm a bit hesitant to say they'll top the group. I'm still going to say they will, but don't be surprised to see them miss out. Because as I said before, guys, Napoli is a team that is very, very uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt, and there's a lot of off-the-field issues as it can go on. But I don't really want to go too much into that. But as I said, I just feel as though that Napoli, they should at least get second in the group. Okay, I could be assured of that. Moving to Group D, guys. This is also a really interesting group. Fourth place in the group I is Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce, for me, I respect the type of team they are. They obviously have some good Turkish players. Obviously, Mesut Ozil, the most notable player. Indeed, Diego Rossi as well. It's just that I just don't think they have enough quality, just to put it bluntly, guys. As I said before, though, this is the type of team where, given how open this group is, I wouldn't be surprised to see them getting third or second. Okay? Now, as for third is a really interesting one. I have Antwerp getting third, guys. Antwerp, for me, decent team as well from Belgium. I think this is a decent team. I think you have, obviously, Nainggolan, the most notable player, Sam Vines, the U.S. men's national team player. Keep an eye upon him. Yoshi as well. There is some decent talent coming through. As I said, though, they just don't have enough quality. Really just don't have enough quality, to be completely honest. And so I don't think they'll do. I think the best they could do is about second, if I'm being honest. Maybe third. I'm saying they'll get third. So, yeah. Second is really interesting. We have Eintracht Frankfurt, Olympiakos. This is a tough call, guys. This is a really tough call. And I believe either of these teams will top the group. Right now, guys, I'm going to say second's going to be Olympiakos. I'm going to say Olympiakos is a type of team where I think they could do something special. I think this is a type of team you cannot really write off upon. This is a type of team that have some quality players. You obviously have Ruben Semedo. You have Francisco Soares, Yusuf Al-Arabi, Thomas Vaslik. You know, it's a decent team, guys. It's a decent team indeed. Remember, guys, they got a result against Arsenal at their Stadium Emirates. They won against them twice. You know, so I do think this is the type of team that could cause issues, and I do think this is the type of team that could top this group. Ultimately, though, I just don't think they have enough firepower up front to really deliver. That said, though, given how open this group is, I think top is definitely very doable for them. Very doable indeed. Okay, moving on to first. Eintracht Frankfurt, guys. It's a team that I'm doing on career mode, guys. And so I want you guys to make sure you guys check out that series if you haven't already. Anyhow, for Eintracht Frankfurt, man, I know they have been in terrible form in the Bundesliga. I'm very, very well aware of that. At the end of the day, though, this is still a very doable group for them. I think this is a doable group for them. And I know this type of team. I've known these players. I've used these players before, guys. And while this might be somewhat biased in some ways, it probably is. I still don't believe that this is, I still do believe this is a good team they have. And I do think they should at least get second in the group. You know, Kostic, you know, you have Jons, you have Hitchinger, Palencia, Kamada, Kevin Trapp. You know, it's a good team, guys. It's a really good team, guys. So, Hasebe, you know, I feel like if they could get their players to, like, their front line to click together, I think they could do something special. I think they could do something special because, to be honest with you guys, I think it's a very doable group for them. I think it's a very manageable group for them, and they should at least get second in this group. Okay? As I said, though, anything can happen in this group, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them not even... I wouldn't be surprised to see them getting third or fourth because they just been in terrible form in the Bundesliga. As I said, though, we can't translate Bundesliga to the Champions League. The Bundesliga to European competition. It's different. Okay? Danny DeCosta is also another player to look out for. Group E. For me, this is another interesting group. A very interesting group indeed. Fourth I have in the group is going to be... I'm going to say Galatasaray. Guys. I think Galatasaray is coming fourth in this group, guys. They got some decent players. Obviously, a Muslera, Uruguay goalkeeper. Obviously, you have... Let's see who else. Arda Turan. You know, let's see who else. Ryan Babel as well. That's pretty much it. I think it's about the notable players you have. As I said, I don't think they'll do anything special. I really don't think they'll do special. Oh, I completely forgot about this player. DeAndre Yedlin, U.S. men's national team player. You know, keep an eye upon him. Anyhow, yeah, I don't think they'll do anything special. I think they'll get fourth. Maybe third as well. As I said, this is a tough group, so anything can happen. Right now, I'm predicting them to fourth. Third in the group is Lokomotiv Moscow. There's one player to keep an eye upon. It is Fyodor Smolev. Keep an eye upon him. Very good player indeed. Miranchuk as well. Really solid player indeed. And then let's see who else. I think that's really about it for the notable players. As I said, I think this is the type of team that's difficult to play. We know how difficult it is to play in Russia. The altitude and all of that, guys. And it's not easy to go there. And so I think Lokomotiv Moscow can use a home form advantage to have. Home field advantage. And I think that could see them through and potentially third. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Because as I said, it could be really risky. It could be really tough indeed. Second in the group I have, it is Lazio, guys. Lazio, for me, they have done a really good job as a team. Obviously, Maurizio Sarri is there as the manager. And I do think this is a really good team, guys. It's a really good team. You have Chiro Immobile, Felipe Anderson, Pedro, Luis Alberto. You have, let's see who else, Peperina, Lazzari, Levy. You know, it's a good team, guys. And obviously, I think it's a great team. Although I will say, though, Sergej Milinkovic is savage. I feel as though that this team is almost like a team where it's almost as if Chiro Immobile has to do everything. And I just don't believe Chiro Immobile can carry this team that consistently, especially within a tough group with Marseille. I don't think they'll get top. That said, though, I'm not very confident of this prediction. I'm not very confident whatsoever. So I think they could definitely get first as well. For right now, though, I'm saying second. Okay? First, I have in the group is Marseille. Obviously, you have Sampoli as a manager. And I feel like this is a really good team, guys. It's a really good team. Gersens, Chekos Under, Dimitri Payet, Milik, Guendouzi, Harit, Conrad Fuente has been doing really well. Saliba, Mandanda, Berardi, Enrique. You know, it's a really good team, guys. It's a really solid team, guys. And I think this Marseille team is a team that could maybe be a sleeper pick as well because they're doing pretty well in League One right now. Let's see where they're at right now. They're fourth right now in League One, which is pretty impressive. And considering how poor the other teams have been doing in League One, like Lyon and Lille, I think Lille and Monaco as well, I think this is the type of team you cannot write up upon. And I think this is the type of team that I think could go on a deep run. And top this group. So we'll see what happens, though. As I said, I think they're top in this group as of now. All right, moving on to Group F. Ooh, Group F, guys. This is the toughest group of the Europa League. So if you're good luck to whoever predicts this group correctly. That's going to be a tough one. A very, very difficult group indeed, guys. Very difficult group indeed. Fourth in the group I have is Ludogorets. Ludogorets, I think, are coming bottom of this group, guys. It's going to be interesting how they do. Obviously, you have, let's see, Despot, Verdun, Suritu, Padet, Anu. As I said, there's got some decent players indeed, as I said. Given how very difficult this group is, I'm not going to I'm not confident in this prediction. Like, this is the group I'm least confident with. Okay? So, yeah, I'm not so sure if I'm being honest. Third, I'm going to have is Midtjylland. I think Midtjylland are coming third in this group. I think they have a decent crop of players, and we saw they didn't make the Champions League last season. You have Dion Koldestu, Mabil Sisto, Maromi, Thompson, As I said, it's a good team, guys. It's a good team. Joel Anderson as well. As I said, I do think that they could get third in this group, and maybe even second. As I said, though, it's going to be really interesting. I personally think they'll get third. I'm not going to put any money on it, so I cannot say definitively. And you have Paulinho as well. Second in the group, guys, is going to be really interesting. It is Crvena Zvezda, guys. I think this is the type of team where it's a decent team, guys. You have Milan Borjan, who is the Canada goalkeeper, by the way, Dragovic, Kanga, Katal, Pavakov. And remember, guys, they did win the Champions League back then. They won the European Cup. Okay, so Gobovic, Kristovic, Petrovic. It's a good team, guys. It's a really good team, guys. And I think this is that type of team where I think they could maybe do something special. That said, I think they're getting second in this group. Second. First in the group, guys, it is Braga. They are, in my opinion, the team that should top this group, and I'm pretty interested to see how they'll do. You obviously have Abel Ruiz, Lucas Pizan. You obviously have Rolando. You have, let's see who else, Mario Gonzalez. It's going to be really interesting to see how they do here because, as I said, I think it's a very difficult group indeed. And even though I am predicting them top of the group, I do think that there could be some shocks. Guys. And I think this group there might be a shock in this group, guys. There might be a shock. I can't guarantee you with it. Okay? So that's Group F. Group G, guys. Group G, indeed. We got a really interesting group here. For me, guys, I'm going to say fourth in this group is going to be Ferencváros. I know they have done some really good stuff, and I know people have telling me I've underestimated them. And yes, I have underestimated them before. It's just that I feel like this is too difficult a group. Too difficult indeed for Ferencváros. And I know they got some decent players indeed. Obviously, you have Du Bois, who's a pretty good goalkeeper. You have Nigon, who's a talented player. Boli, Zubov, Raime. And I did watch the playoffs against Young Boys, and they did play pretty well, to be honest. Cigar, Savic, Blizic. As I said, I think it's the type of team from Hungary that could do some damage. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised. At the end of the day, though, I think fourth is probably the most bound. I think they're bound into that position. I think that's the most realistic. Okay? So we'll see. Third in the group it is going to be Celtic, guys. Celtic, in my opinion, I think they'll get third in this group. You have Joe Hart, you have Ferhoshi, McCarthy, Abada, Liam Shaw, And I think for me, I think Celtic should get third. But given how Ferencváros have been looking pretty good as of recently, I think the fourth is very doable for them as well. So, yeah, we'll see. I think it's definitely between them and Celtic for that third spot, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm going to say they finish third. Keep an eye on Ferhoshi and Joe Hart. Okay. And the second of the group, guys, I'm going to have it's a tough call, guys. Tough call indeed. Because both these teams, in my opinion, are pretty level. Leverkusen and Real Betis. I'm going to say Real Betis gets second. Guys. For me, guys, I think this Real Betis team is a really good team. You obviously have Diego Lainez, a very talented player indeed. Scored against the U.S. men's national team. Claudio Bravo, very good goalkeeper indeed. Hector Bellerin, nice addition from Arsenal. Joaquin, Nabil Fekir, Guardado, William Jose, Carvalho, Sahabili, Pezzella. As I said, I think this is the type of team that is very talented. They have so many individual players. I just don't know how they'll be able to mesh it together on the pitch. Can they play well as a team? And Juan Miranda as well, recent addition from Barcelona. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do. We'll see what they do in this group, guys. And I do think that they could top this group. It's just that I just don't know. I just don't know. And let's see what Manuel Pellegrini can do with this, guys. Very good team indeed. And this is the type of team that can score tons of goals and also be defensively very strong as well. So we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. First group I have is Bayer Leverkusen, guys. Bayer Leverkusen, guys. They have some really good players. Obviously, the player to look out for is Patrick Schick, Paulinho, Florian Wirtz, Moussa Diaby, Radek, who's a really good goalkeeper. Backer as well, recent addition from PSG. You also have Lucas Alario as well. Charles Aringas, Palacios, Dermabi, Tapsoba is a really good defender. So yeah, man, I think for me, this is a team that I think could top this group. I think they could top this group indeed. And I think they're definitely competing with Real Betis for that top spot. I'm just giving them an edge, especially with Patrick Schick, who just came off of Euros, playing really, really well indeed. Finally, the final group we have, it is Group H. We have Dynamo Zagreb, Genk, Rapid Wien, and West Ham. For me, fourth of this group is going to have to be Rapid Wien. For me, this is the type of team that it's decent, to be fair. You know, they play well in Austria. I just don't think they'll be able to do anything special, if I'm being honest. It's up to them to prove me wrong, though. You have Kara, Alui, Guli, Warmer, Oyur. So as I said, I think they could do something special. That said, I think they're finishing bottom. Third, and the group I have, it is Genk. I think it's a good team, guys. Genk's a really solid team. You have Artigi, Onako, Moniz, Mark McKenzie, U.S. men's national team player. So I think this is the type of team that could do something special. That said, I think third is about realistic, if I'm being honest. I don't think they could do better than third. And then obviously you have this goalkeeper, Vanderbrit, as well. Very young goalkeeper indeed. I think. Let me just check. 19 years old. Yes, I'm correct. Okay. So now we move on to that. We move on to second place. Second place, guys, I have is Dynamo Zagreb. This is a really good team, guys. A very, very good team indeed. And this type of team, as I said, it's difficult to play in Croatia. Obviously, you have Orsaj, Levakovic, Pekovic, Kub, Ademi, Juric. It's a good team, guys. It's a really good team, guys. And I think it's the type of team I wouldn't want to play in Croatia. It's a difficult team to play against in Croatia, man. And as I said, I think they could definitely do something special. And I think they could get second. I think second is very doable for them. And maybe even top this group, for what I know. And the first in the group I have is West Ham. West Ham, this is the first time they've ever been in the Europa League. And it would be a miracle. It would be amazing if they could win the competition in the first try. What a storyline that would be for West Ham. And they got some really good players. I think David Moyes has done a fantastic job with this team. You have Mikel Antonio, Declan Rice, Vlasic, Fornals, Kurt Zuma, Ben Raba, Alex Krau, Ariola, Suchek, Yarmolenko, Noba, Fabianski, Kufa, Lanzini, Gerard Bowen. I'm really, really looking forward to West Ham, man. I think West Ham, man, is a type of team where they could go in a deep run this competition in the Europa League, that is. So I want you guys to comment down below what you guys think. And so that's it for today, guys. Those are my Europa League group stage predictions. So thank you guys for staying tuned, guys. It's been a really long video, around 28 minutes of this, guys. So I want you guys to comment down below your group stage predictions, as well as comment down below which team you think is going to win the Europa League. Guys, I haven't really put my money on it yet, because I feel like, for some reason, guys, I have a feeling we'll see a team that drops down from the Champions League that wins this. I feel like we're going to see something of that nature. But if we're going to go from just these 32 teams, I think I already made a video on this on my channel, but I'll just briefly reiterate. West Ham is definitely in contention. I think Bayer Leverkusen is a really good one to make. Napoli as well. You got to put them Sociedad as well. Rangers potentially. Lyon as well. We'll see, man. We'll see. This Europa League could be interesting.